Is QANX struggling? I don't think it is. I think what's happening is ETH is struggling, and that's having a reflection on certain tokens. Yeah, I like the correction on QANX. It's very gentle and it's very meek and it's very mild. It's not like a sell-off. So when you're comparing it to something like another token that I've taught, TRVL is selling off. There's no sell-off here. This is a really gentle correction. It's correcting. Initially I thought this might be a bullish Gartley. We had a little reaction, but actually it's failed. So the bullish Gartley has failed. I said bullish patterns can fail. And so what are we looking at now? Well, I think it's probably going to come down to this little range now. Probably. We're trying to find support. Yeah, that's all that's happening in the price. It is possible that you find support here at this wick low. It is possible we just consolidate here and just get right back up and then we go up. You know, that's happened before. And QANX likes to do that. It likes to kind of look a little bit bearish before it finally becomes bullish. This is kind of where we're at the moment. I think once you just kind of get back into this local range, then we have a chance to get out of here. A little bit of volume would be nice here to bring this point of control to the lows here. And then we can have a chance to expand up. If we can actually impulse out of this, I think we could get to the all-time high. I kind of want to see us get to the all-time high for a big take profit. That would be a really nice take profit if we can go from the current price at 4.4 cents to 20 cents in one nice major impulsive move to complete some kind of wave 3. Be really nice. You can impulse, take the all-time high for a big take profit, correction, maybe a final wave, and then we have to see. Okay, then we have to see what happens next. Who knows? The problem is that how did I do my EW waves? Yeah, I think if you want a really bullish wave, you have to go 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure, because I think we should be impulsing. We haven't impulsed yet, so I'm just kind of contemplating something else, just because I've seen something on the ETH BTC chart that makes me not bearish, but makes me a little bit more hesitant about the future. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this stream. So I've got a really interesting viewpoint on the higher time frame on ETH BTC. So this is something to bear in mind, and I don't want to scare people. It is possible that that is your wave 1 and we are in a wave 3 of sorts, and this is an ABC corrective like that. We're in some kind of a little bit more of a higher time frame corrective move here, like this, to come all the way down here for one more last drop for the actual big move, the big move. I'll have to reanalyze my Elliot waves just because of what I'm seeing on ETH BTC, which makes me a little bit more hesitant about the future. And so, you know, I'm bullish on QANX, I'm bullish on crypto, but I'm not necessarily thinking we're going to go to 200k in the next 2 months on BTC. There's a lot of people saying that, which makes me hesitant. Okay, I become hesitant when people become ultra bullish, and when you got influencers shilling higher prices, and also I don't see Bitcoin going to 200k when retail kind of joins the party in the next couple of months or something because of the Trump effect, or in the next month because of the Trump effect. I think actually that's a really good opportunity for the markets to dump on retail as soon as they get involved in crypto. So I'm very hesitant about this kind of crazy move to the upside just yet. Yeah, I do like my initial analysis. This was quite impulsive, but you can also potentially get an ABC impulsive. It looks impulsive, but it's actually corrective. It doesn't have to hit the all-time high. You could kind of close a shape, get a lower high here, which makes people bearish. Although the all-time high would be nice to hit for the first all-time high since a long time. Okay, and then you could end up with an ABC here and an ABC down. You get this kind of crazy ABC down, ABC up, another ABC down. You haven't actually launched your next wave. You're still wave one here. This blue wave actually is a bit more of a longer two. You're still in the three. It's just that this mid part becomes a little bit more we're still in the three of sorts. Yeah, this big, we're still in it. That hasn't changed. It just means that we had the first one and we have this crazy extended flat correction, which is really bullish because it lasts a long time. Big extended flat, but actually we're not necessarily, we might not necessarily be in a three. We might be in the bullish part of the B before we have another ABC down to here. I've got October, so that doesn't actually quite work. I'm not thinking October. I'm thinking May, somewhere around May. Okay. Some kind of ABC corrective. That comes right back to the point of control. And actually that becomes the buy of a lifetime because you've just basically taken it to almost 20 cents and you come all the way back down to 2 cents for the most amazing buy of a lifetime. And then that's when you get the injection of volume, which is kind of what we want, okay, for the actual move, which is this blue free, which is a continuation of this red free, which is the big move, the next free. I'm somewhere in this situation in my mind at the moment, just because of what I'm about to show people on my ETH BTC chart. And it's food for thought. Yeah, I'm not 100%, I'm never 100% when it comes to crypto. I have ideas, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I think it's really important for me to share, and I think you guys who are interested could be the judge of it. You can make your own decisions. I'm not 100%, okay, I'm never 100%, but when I look at the ETH BTC chart in the context of the rest of crypto, QANX, etc., I see some similarities with the past, which makes me think that actually we haven't bottomed out yet before the mega alt season that is about to begin. All right, and it's basically when I kind of look at my moving averages, which I do look at moving averages. I don't chart with them. I don't really care about them or use them as support resistance lines, but I do care about the momentum that they offer to the market. Yeah, momentum is really important. So when you're trending up, the price is above the moving averages and they're trending up. When you're trending down, the price is underneath the moving averages and the moving averages are falling down. That's basically how you can decipher the trend. So if you see the prices underneath the moving averages, and the moving averages are they're heading downwards and kind of trending down, the trend is down. Yeah, you wouldn't buy, you'd be looking to sell. And when you see the moving averages is bottomed out and they start to cross and the price starts to come above them, then now the price is trending up, and you're not selling anymore, you're buying. Okay, so as you can see with ETH BTC, we've been trending down. Yeah, we've had some mini kind of alt pumps and dumps, alt pumps and dumps. That's what's happened along the way. Some alts have shown real strength, like Sui or Solana. They did, or meme coins basically, which is connected to Solana and the Solana ecosystem. But other altcoins, or most altcoins, haven't really shown strength. They haven't really done what we wanted them to do. And fundamentally, that's because ETH has struggled against BTC. Not ETH has struggled against USD, because ETH has gone up with BTC along with USD. It's 2x or something. But against BTC, ETH has struggled. It's been struggling. Okay. And what it comes down to is that we've got this crazy downtrend. We've got the momentum that's really bearish. You can see the momentum is bearish. And now we're finally coming into higher time frame support. Yeah, the higher time frame support is a golden pocket on this higher time frame, and this higher time frame point of control, which is the most volume. The most volume has been traded at this price between ETH and BTC since the beginning. So it's a big level. It's a big level for the price to find support. And because of the confluence of this level, I do expect ETH BTC to find support here. Okay. I don't expect it to just go through. I think we had a reaction. This was a little bit of a front run. That was the first reaction that happened. And we had a little kind of, yeah, alts are going to the moon. But naturally, the momentum is still struggling with the momentum to fight the momentum. And we're still kind of in bearish market structure here against BTC. Alt season requires ETH BTC to be bullish. And we haven't had that. We had this bullish engulfing candle, which was immediately reversed. So that's our first trap. And then we went down for a little capitulation event or whatever here, and then we had another little mini alt season. But actually all these mini alt seasons are failing just because ETH BTC is struggling, or has struggled. But I see similarities here and here with this past here. So when you're looking at the charts, you see here the price here is coming into the value area low. Here the price is coming into the point of control and this golden pocket. You see here we had the price go up but eventually reject to come back down for a second hit. And I feel like we're here at the second hit. I feel like we're here at the second hit. This is kind of where we are. I see similarities that we're coming into big time support. We've hit it once. In this case, we had a little front run, and now we've kind of finding resistance against the same kind of moving average, and then we're coming back down for another test. And don't forget, at the same time, Bitcoin is showing some strength. Okay, so I feel like we're here coming for the second time. The confirmation for me in the context here would be some kind of bullish reversal type structure or pattern on this higher time frame. On this weekly time frame, it started with a swing failure, and then it was followed through with a higher close than the previous day, and then it was followed through with a bullish engulfing. So you had these kind of conditions that needed to be met for this to then end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green weeks. And that was alt season 1.0. No, it wasn't. And that's the other thing I wanted to share with you. That wasn't the alt season 1.0. And that this is really important that people understand the context of what I'm saying, because people are we're all expecting alt season 1.0, i.e. the first one. Well, that might not even be it. Okay, so let me just go back to where I'm looking at. Shit, I've lost it. here. Okay, look. So here, you see, we're coming down, we're coming down, we're coming down. Finding support. Then you have the first ETH. In this context, you have a really nice pump, 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 pump. I guess the context is slightly different because, you know, ETH hasn't been coming down here, whereas here ETH is coming down. There's a slight different context there, but I'm just looking at the moving averages and the situation of how to turn the momentum to the upside. Here you have a reversal, and we're kind of on that precipice of that where people are expecting ETH to pump and alt seasons to begin. That's what people are expecting. And it may happen. You may get this kind of craziness where this goes up and this bottoms out and it goes up. Okay. But what I'm looking for here isn't for this to just go up and up and up and alt season to begin, because after we went up, there was a capitulation event, and that actually was the COVID capitulation. Okay. And so actually, this actually against USDT, it went lower and it basically liquidated everyone who was expecting alt season and was leveraging like there was no tomorrow. They thought it had begun. Okay. Then there was a capitulation. Okay. So I feel like we need to capitulate somehow. And also I feel like a lot of retail, a lot of people are going to get burnt when we top out prematurely because of the momentum, and the momentum of the market has to be turned on this higher time frame. You can't go up when the momentum is still down. It's just not logical. And also the other thing that I'm looking at here is so I'm just kind of being logical about this. Where was it? I had it here. Price action. There it is. So I've got from this pivot high to this low, the price actually, it rallied, but it went to the golden pocket. And then it came back down and it came to the golden pocket. Those were your kind of two target trades in this price action. The whole price action from the bottom to where it capitulated took about 11 to 12 weeks. It was about 11 to 12 weeks. So from where we are now, it would put us like at the end of April, basically mid-April. But don't forget that this dumped 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. It was crazy red. And when you look at this, the final capitulation, it was in the 3rd week, but it just wiped everyone out. And it was this was somewhere in February, but I don't know exactly about the times because I want to see. I actually am thinking that if we do get a pump, it has to go to the golden pocket for a reversal, for a rejection. Okay. And then when it came back down, after you get this first pump, ETH BTC came back to the golden pocket. And so when you see here from this pivot low to wherever it topped out, it came back to the golden pocket. Doesn't matter about the price because that's actually where crypto bottomed, altcoins bottomed out. Okay. And when you look at this chart, that's the beginning of alt season. The beginning of alt season is when you had a capitulation event, but actually what ended up happening was that ETH BTC, after the first pump, came back to the golden pocket and found support. And then the rest was just up, 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 up and away. That was actually the up, up moment. Okay. That was alt season 1 in this context. And that's kind of what I'm thinking needs to happen now. And the reason why is because when I compare our situation, when I look at the moving averages and where we are, and because everyone is expecting a pump, I don't think we're just going to go straight up in a straight line. I think ETH BTC will find resistance, and we kind of need to do the same thing. We kind of need to turn these moving averages. And then if we do kind of top out in this context at the golden pocket, similar to there, then you have your final capitulation, bam, 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 red, 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 everything dumps. And actually in that context, I think probably Bitcoin will probably drop to 70K. Okay, nothing will survive 70k, but the context here is that will be the moment. That will be where if BTC finds support at the golden pocket after you get that move and you get a capitulation, some kind of capitulation, then actually that is when alt season begins. So this is kind of what I'm thinking I'm looking for. If history was to repeat itself and do what happened here happens again, just to get out of it, because the momentum's desperate to the downside. I think it's possible that we do kind of ETH pumps all the way up to some kind of SR flip, golden pocket. That makes sense. People will target the value area high. It may not get there because that would be a really nice logical place for the price to find resistance. Golden pocket, some kind of SR flip, similar to here. It overshot here, but the reality was that was the right place. It was similar to here, these lows, some kind of SR flip type area, golden pocket. That would be the extent of our current move. And in terms of what I'm seeing in the charts, it will get people bullish before you get the final pullback for the big test, the final test. You don't want to be in crypto when that pulls back. That's what I'm thinking. I think once ETH BTC, if we do now get a really nice rally, I'm thinking I need to exit crypto completely there and see what happens and just wait and wait. Now, if I'm wrong, I could be, you know, everyone has the potential to be wrong. And ETH just really does want to just go like there's no tomorrow. It doesn't really matter because it will still eventually have to pull back. And if it does continue going, you just wait for the pullback and you wait for a 50 fib retracement. And then you just wait for fear to go back right back down to 30 or 20. And then that's when you buy wherever that lands. But actually, just because of the similarities that we're seeing between the situation, and I don't care about the timings of this is January, this is February, and back then, although back then it was January, see, it was January here, this is January here. It's kind of roughly the same times. It's roughly the same place. This is the point of control. That was the value area low. The momentum of the market is roughly at the same place. These moving averages, this 20 and this 50. Yeah. And we've hit it. We've hit this 20 a few times. And now we're kind of, it looks like we're trying to bottom out. Similar to here, we've had the first bounce. That was the first bounce. We've had the first bounce. Now we're coming back for the test. This is the test. Okay. The sign is going to be a bullish weekly engulfing. So that's, if people are waiting to know when to enter, if we get a swing failure close here on the weekly, that's going to be the first indication of support. But realistically speaking, we want a bullish engulfing, some kind of bullish engulfing. And so a swing failure is good, but a bullish engulfing or a piercing followed by a green candle would be what I'm looking for the crazy move. Okay. And then actually I wouldn't be looking to hold that and hoping that Bitcoin gets to 200k. What I'd actually be looking for is for Bitcoin to go sideways. And while ETH pumps for a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, I'll be looking for Bitcoin to actually top out, like a distribution. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a distribution. I'm not really in the right mind. I'm not a moon boy. I'm not thinking we're going to go to the moon right now. I think everyone expects it, and therefore I'm a little bit hesitant about the moon. Yeah, just because everyone is expecting the moon, I'm thinking if everyone expects the moon, maybe we don't go to the moon. Yeah, so I'm a little bit hesitant about the moon. And I'm thinking we get a topping pattern here. Hi. ETH starts pumping. Oh, we have a little mini alt season, whatever. Like an ABC. ABC. That's the sell where ETH BTC hits that golden pocket. I don't know exactly about the timings. You end up with a little bit of a change of market structure here or something. Take out the low, then everything gets really bearish, and then you have your capitulation type thing. Bam. All the way down to 70k, wherever. That's basically that will be a nice test of something like that. Fill the gap. I think it's very unlikely that we go up without filling the gap, just because the gap is in 5 digits, and usually when you cross to 6 digits, to 100k and above, you never come back down. Just like when the price went from $900 to $1,000, it never came back to $900. When you go to 3 digits or to 4 digits, we never really came back down. So I think it's probably it's more likely than not we do actually go and fill the gap before we go up. But it's also I think it's more likely than not we come back for a test to test this range, because I find it very difficult to imagine that we're going to go up now on Bitcoin like this to 200k, which is what people are expecting, without having a test. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that right now retail about to join the party and smart money is about to make them rich because they're going to degen leverage, or they caught the dip at 89k and they've been leveraging like there's no tomorrow, and now all of a sudden smart money is going to let all of the kids in their bedrooms get rich. Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of a distribution here. That's my initial gut feeling. So we get a little bit alt season, everyone's going to be excited, the retail are going to come and pump the altcoins, and everyone's going to be like, oh my god, I'm getting rich. And we're starting to see it, you know, when you get Trump coin go up, and all of a sudden people are going to be, that's part of the play, isn't it? Like everyone's going to be hearing about Trump coin, and now people are going to start speculating on tokens again. So I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a distribution here, and we have a little bit of a little mini alt season, but it's not true alt season, because when you get the capitulation, for me the signal is going to be exactly what I said. I want to see this momentum on ETH BTC bottom out properly, like really properly. That would be here. And if we do get a capitulation, and I see that there's a little bit of divergence because ETH BTC is higher but ETH USD is lower, that will be the signal. And then that's when I'll be looking to buy alts, and then the rest is history. Because when you look at history, it's always good to look at historic price action, and remember, this is just a theory. I could be wrong. Okay, to me it makes logical sense, but you know, we'd have to see what happens and adopt this is where I'm going to be looking to adopt my strategy if I see some changes that make me think differently. So it's not 100%, but when you look at where the price came the second time, that was the capitulation. It overshot. So you had, this is the divergence I'm talking about, lower low on the USD, higher low on the ETH BTC. But ETH BTC coming to support. This is a capitulation, and then it doesn't really matter about ETH BTC then, because the ETH USD just goes up and up and up, and it actually never comes back down. That's your alt season. That's alt season 1. This is the true alt season, the first alt season. You see that? It just goes up and up and up. Okay. The second alt season, in this context, you need Bitcoin to go parabolic. Okay. And for Bitcoin to go parabolic, you need ETH BTC to give its value to Bitcoin. And once ETH tops out here, ETH USD still goes up, by the way, just because Bitcoin goes parabolic. But then what you're looking for is ETH BTC to correct. It doesn't really matter about ETH USD, because ETH USD still goes up because Bitcoin is going parabolic. But that's what you want to see. You want to see ETH BTC give its value to Bitcoin, to push Bitcoin up and up and up. You don't have to do anything with your ETH or your altcoins, because they just continue going up because Bitcoin is going parabolic. But in that moment, what you'll notice is that altcoins, the BTC pairs of all the altcoins are pulling back, or they're doing some kind of corrective move. And finally, the next alt season, the next big alt season, is when you get, although the whole thing could be just one alt season, but the next big alt season is where this finds support, and then it just goes up. Okay, now that was, in this context, that was really alt season, wasn't it? Because you see here when it bottomed out here, that was January. You see where January of the last bull market, at the end of December, this is where Bitcoin went parabolic here, and then it bottomed out here in January, and that's when we had alt season. It went from January through to the top here, which is the May or April. Here it was May, it topped out in May. Yeah, that was our second alt season. Yeah, doesn't really matter because the alt from the bottom here, the alts just went up, or ETH just went up. But the alt season was, this was alt season 1, and then this was the big one. This was alt season 2. And the context of alt season 2, again, it started from March to, it was a short period of time. It was the moment when altcoins, a lot of small caps and mini altcoins went parabolic. Yeah, basically ETH BTC again had to find support. In this context, it's the point of control. And if I use this idea and correspond it to the current chart, you'll get alt season 1 here when ETH BTC finds support on the golden pocket to reverse the momentum here. That's alt season 1, but that's actually when Bitcoin starts to rally and go up. Then you get Bitcoin go parabolic. That will be when this, similar to here, it crosses the point of control here. This would cross the value area high here. That's what we need. The same idea. Whether it finds support on the value area high or not, eventually it will have to. In the same way that here the price eventually had to find support on the point of control, you'll also need to do the same thing. You'll need to find support on the value area high there similarly, and then the next move will be alt season 2. That will be when we flip the value area high into support, and then that only then can ETH BTC go to the all-time high of ETH, and that will be alt season 2, and that will be your target. Your target here, the top of this is going to be somewhere in above these highs and below these highs, above these highs, below this, somewhere in that range, your alt season will end. And that's the end of the crypto bull market. In my imagination, based on what I'm seeing right now, and the similarities that I'm seeing with ETH BTC from this move here, this price action here, and where we are. It's a bit messy, but I'm basing my ideas fundamentally on the momentum having to be turned before we can actually go up. I find it very difficult. I find it extremely difficult to think in the same way it was difficult for the price to go up here because of the momentum had to be turned. This is the 3-day chart. I'm looking at the daily chart. It had to be turned here. Okay, I find it very difficult to think that we're going to go up. This is the day or the weekly. Sorry, I'm looking at the weekly chart. I'm looking at the weekly chart. The weekly momentum is strong to the downside. I think it needs to be turned, and the only way to turn it is with an impulsive up and a back test to turn this momentum. And the same thing needed to happen here. And I'm giving you the context of when the capitulation happened before, and then when that actually was the golden entry for all our altcoins, etc. We still have a nice move up to the upside from where we are now, potentially, if we can bottom out the golden pocket to the golden pocket. That's a really nice move. I think that's a really nice trade. That's why I'm long, okay? Because we're kind of in that area. We're in that area where I feel like we should have a second reaction, yeah? I could be wrong. We're in the golden pocket. It is always possible that, you know, I'm wrong and we just fucking capitulate here. Who knows? Like, shit happens, you know. Like, I don't make this up. I'm just, I didn't create the markets. The markets do what they want. I just think this is a good area for the price to bounce again and find support, just because it's the right place. It's golden pocket, point of control, higher time frame. We had a first reaction. I like that. Now we're coming to test it again. We've taken the lows. Is right now ETH BTC is showing a little bit of weakness, isn't it? Showing weakness. So we're coming in for another test. Yeah. Another test. Look at this. ETH BTC showing weakness. What does that mean? Well, look at that. BTC, it's getting rejected. It got rejected. It tried to get in. It can't get in. Maybe we find support here. Let's see if there's a little bit of divergences here forming. No, can't see any divergences. So see, we got above daily open, lost it. So it's just kind of, we're above the VWAP, so we're still good. But I think we have to see what happens with ETH BTC. And people, not many people look at ETH BTC or understand ETH BTC. A lot of people are looking at Bitcoin dominance. They don't even understand that. They're just saying we're in alt season. But actually, I think ETH BTC needs to bottom out. This is when we're going to get alt season, when ETH BTC bottoms out here. And we'll know. I think what I am looking for is some kind of, I thought maybe we would close higher than this low here. That would have been nice. We're actually going down. So I think maybe we want to close now. We need a nice close above this low. If we can get a nice close above this low today, that would be really nice. If we don't, then we still haven't bottomed out here. And on the weekly time frame, I really want a weekly close above this low. I think that's really important. If you do get that, then the next week needs to be we need a bullish engulfing, some kind of bullish engulfing, or we'll need a bullish piercing candle here, a nice green candle above that wick, closes above that wick, and then another green candle. And then if you get that, so 2 green weeks after this red week, if we get a close above that pivot low this week, that's good. Step 1. Step 2 would be a green week closing above that pivot. Step 3 would be another green week, green doji of sorts, or something. So 2 more green weeks. So green, green, and then we can have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 3 or 4 green weeks. And then that's when you're into your target area, basically towards the end of February. Yeah. And capitulate. Then it's a capitulation event, I think. And if you capitulate on the monthly time frame, you're basically going all the way up there. Nice green bullish monthly candle. So there's so you're ending up with a bullish engulfing on the monthly candle now. That's what we want to see. We want to see a bullish engulfing on the monthly candle, or some kind of bullish reversal. Here, this was the same thing. Look, this is a piercing candle. It's a green candle follow up. And that was the start of the reversal here. In this context, if we were to end up with, on the monthly time frame, it wouldn't be, I mean, it'd be nice to end up with a bullish engulfing here, but actually you probably might end up with a red candle here closing above, like a green wicked candle, and then the next one is a green, the February is a nice big bullish green candle taking us higher. Like, we need that kind of thing to happen. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. That's where my mind's at. And we have to see what happens. All right. Sorry, I didn't see what you said, Nicodem. If enough people think it will move this way, they'll probably also react to it, and it also has more chance to do it, I guess. Well, I don't think anyone is thinking this way so much. I think the Moon Boys are out in force. I've seen some crazy posts about Bitcoin going to crazy numbers. Who is that person that I follow? And I've also seen some other posts which make me think slightly differently. And I'm not basing my information off people's posts. I'm just basically looking at the logic of I've seen different types of posts too. Who is that person? What's her name? Can't remember her name. This person I follow. I wish I saved her. I wish I saved her post. Because it was kind of what I was thinking. Hey, look, for example, look at this. See that? These are the posts that I think are problematic because people are longing here, assuming that, you see, they've got these kind of same thing. It just, look, you see, it's got going up and up and up. They say these are the posts which actually can get people into trouble because they start max leveraging. And while I think we should go up, I think we will probably take the all-time high. It makes sense because you need to take the all-time high because that's going to get the world interested in Bitcoin, especially with Trump coming in. And that's kind of where you can get a little bit of a distribution, a distribution event. I'm just trying to find the post, see if I can find it, because it's someone who I'm following. Can't find it. So I follow all kinds of people. Oh my God, it's Trump. What a joke. No, I can't find that. I wish I could find it because it would really help explain what I'm trying to say. But I should have saved it. Don't remember their name. Dude, I follow too many random people. Yeah. Anyway, you get the point, huh? So I'm not like saying it's gonna happen the way I've imagined it. Obviously I didn't know we were gonna dump so much last night on ETH. I do feel like we're coming into support though. You know, that's the thing. Like, where exactly is it gonna find? So I think somewhere here. You know, like, it's the right place, isn't it? Like, this is the right place for the price to find support. We had a reaction. This is the test. It's at the point of control. It's very unlikely that we just go through it, and it's like a multi-year point of control. It's not insignificant, you know. Like, when in the whole of ETH's existence against BTC, the last time we were here, it was April 21. We've come back for a test. There was a period of price action here. It lasted months. Yeah. So we filled the gap now. The gaps have been filled on this price action. This is the right place for the price to find support. It always could, but I don't expect it to go lower, just because this whole period it was a consolidation area, and this is the right area. This is the point of control. It's the golden pocket from one of these pivots, these lows. Maybe lower down, maybe slightly lower. It doesn't really matter. It's an area. And if we're not going to, and also you see these higher time, these monthly moving averages, they're the 50 monthly moving average is actually just trending flat or slightly up, and this 20 moving average is actually coming down. Very similar situation, you know, very similar. You've got this kind of down and then down. You've got this down and then down. very similar situation. Now we need to find support. We've had our first monthly green candle there. This is the next test. I think this is the test. And then I'm hoping I'm right, because that will just make life easier. It'll make life easier if I'm right, to make a bit of money in this move up, and then we can make a bit of money in the move down, and then maybe we can make the money in the final move, which actually takes us to higher prices. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, is trying to read the market and trying to be on the right side of the movements. All right. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'll put this in the video in a bit. I'm not going to stay on anymore because I got to go. I'm not bearish at all. I think it's more likely than not we go up and take the all-time high and actually push higher. But I do think, as always, I say all-time high is a really nice take profit. I do want ETH to go up, because that would, I don't like ETH going down, I like ETH going up. That would affirm my theory if ETH goes up, because really ETH now has to go up. I want to see from when Trump becomes inaugurated, I want to see 4-5 green weeks up. Yeah. And we'll keep track of my idea. And honestly, if and when BTC does get into that golden pocket that I've been talking about, I'm going to be out of crypto. I'm going to be selling everything like a motherfucker. I won't even care. Yeah. Just because the whole world is going to be bullish as fuck. And that's going to scare me to bits. That's going to scare the life out of me. Yeah. If ETH BTC now just does a real nice pump up there, as we've seen before. Now, what if it doesn't? What if it was a bit weaker than the golden pocket? Then I'll be looking at these weekly candles, and I'll be looking for a weekly type reversal if it's premature. Like here, when I'm looking at this previous price action, we just had expanding candles until we finally had the first candle, the first green candle that didn't expand and close higher. It closed lower. So for me, that was probably the top in this expanding range. And so I'm looking for a topping, some kind of topping pattern here on ETH BTC. Yeah. And actually, interestingly enough, I apologize, my chart's a little bit messy, but interesting enough, when you compare it to the USD chart at exactly the same place, you had the very similar situation. You had expanding candles on ETH, and then the last candle, the candle that actually topped ETH USD, was the last candle that actually didn't close higher. It closed underneath the previous week high. You see that? That was your exit, and this actually affirmed the exit. It was above the golden pocket, so people were bullish, but actually that was your exit, because this look. Now, you could be wrong, and it could continue. Okay. So that will be the first place to seriously scale back. If you're leverage, take profits, and then spot, I'll be looking to just scale right back, and then the next week you can just sell again, and it doesn't really matter. You can scale out. But personally, that's my area of interest, and then I'll be looking for a nice capitulation. The other thing that kind of gets me a little bit bearish as well, and I don't know if people talk about this so often, and they should, is the SPX. I kind of feel like this is a bit high. I kind of feel like we need something like this. We need a little bit of a drop as well. I feel like people are really bullish with Trump, and that kind of makes me think, well, surely then you're going to get big institutions, and that's because it's about exit liquidity for a lot of these big players. And so when you suddenly get a bullish month or bullishness, and lots of people buying because they're bullish on Trump, and Trump is everything's looking bullish, it's kind of exit liquidity for a lot of these institutions, because they can sell without pulling the price down too much, and they can put limit orders, and they get filled because the price is trying to go up. And then actually it's an exhaustion of the market, because the buying eventually stops, and then suddenly you get some big shorts that cover some big longs. When the price starts falling, you start getting some shorting, you get longs that get liquidated, and then you get this kind of liquidation type event. And that's healthier. It's healthy for a liquidation event, and it makes sense, because why would Trump buy Bitcoin at 120k or 115k when, if he really wants to, he can buy it at 70k? Yeah, if the US Department of Treasury, whatever, wants to buy Bitcoin, why would they buy it at 120 when they can buy it at 70k? Yeah, that's kind of where my mind is at. All right, guys, love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me, Ian. I don't know if you wanted me to look something, but we have to go now. So this is kind of an interesting theory. I was going over it with my friend yesterday. I find it very difficult to sell, to explain to him. I think I've got him on board, actually. They will panic sell, never look at crypto for the next couple of months. Thanks to us, I'm learning a lot. Yeah, they won't. And actually, that's going to be the buy of the century. And just in the context of Bitcoin, I just want you to understand, for a lot of people, they'll be very scared, which is usually the best time to buy. And we need that. We need a little bit of fear in the market. Fear is healthy for buying. Yeah. Right now we're in like greed. You need a little bit of fear. We like greed because it attracts retail. But in the context here, we lose. I don't know if it's going to be exactly like this, but it's food for thought. We have to see some kind of distribution. Yeah, like this looks like a Wyckoff, to be honest with you. But I don't want this accumulation to be long. I want it to be relatively short, like 2 or 3 weeks, with a capitulation into support. And then the sign of strength here would be a reclaim of this range. So for a lot of people, they won't know how to buy the dip. They'll be scared. They won't be sure. They'll be a little bit panicked. They won't have the confidence. They might think it's going lower. You can wait for the reaction. If you see a reaction, you can start buying. And here, that would be a sign of strength. Getting back into this range would be a sign of strength. So if people didn't want to long down at 70k, they could long back up at 90k. But if the price did manage to get back into this range, that would be a sign of strength. Then you're probably just smashing through. That's probably when the move continues. That's probably when people jump on board, when it makes another all-time high after this capitulation. And then we're probably riding all the way up to 200k or higher. Probably. That's probably how it's going to play out for the next big move that people want to see or expect. That's when we get the first alt season, this move up here. The second alt season, the second Bitcoin going parabolic in this context will be ETH BTC pulling back. ETH, the altcoins will still go up. And then the second alt season will be when Bitcoin basically kind of tops here somewhere. But I don't think I care about the second alt season as much as I do about kind of getting a really nice, because once you catch the alts at the absolute low before the big move, it's all an alt season. The whole thing becomes an alt season. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really care about alt season 1 and alt season 2. You just long this. You just long this to high hill. You could long there. If you reclaim 90k, you could long there. If you go up and back and reclaim the all-time high, you can long again. You can end up longing. That's what you would do. You'd long. You actually wouldn't. I wouldn't be looking to take any profits until I saw the big move to higher prices with a big kind of parabolic kind of type move, and that's actually when I'll be looking to take the big profits, the healthy profits. This is it's a theory. It's an evolving theory, and so let's see if it plays out. I have to go now, but really appreciate you joining me. This is